Like I say, what happened was basically Nixon or JFK basically, well, for one thing, they weren't in the White House. They couldn't get elected to president. Like I said, in order to be a governor or president of one of my nations or my country or one of my companies even, you had to be able to pass a lie detector test. You had to be able to be fed alcohol or a truth serum basically, and basically pass a polygraph test pretty much. And basically they couldn't pass it. Nixon and JFK could not pass it. There's 1,000 or 100 questions basically, and this is why the FBI and the CIA are supposed to be using um, lie detector tests and truth serum and be able to detect lies basically, pretty much, and that's why in order to be an FBI member or a CIA member or any position of power in my government, basically you have to be able to pass a lie detector test. I basically wanted lie detectors and basically scanning things and other things to be able to see brain waves and brain and also even the inside of your skull and the different neuron reactions inside of your brain, basically, to see if you were lying or not. Because the human race does have the capacity to lie or to make up stories or to do things. And basically JFK Nixon did want to blow up the world, I believe. So anyway, this is why at some point in time I wanted cameras and also lie detector tests and basically other things to be done. Technically, I was about 8 or 9 years old because I was a child. It was going to be needed that basically I was, these things were going to have to be done. Like I said, it was actually Jimmy Carter or Nixon or JFK that wanted to basically make swearing your oath on a Bible. Like I said, you do not swear your oath on a Bible. You have to be able to pass a lie detector test in front of your public in order to become a governor of my countries or my country or anything of power. But of course, Jimmy Carter and Nixon, who were basically lying basically about everything, pretty much, just wanted to pass it, saying the public was fine with just swearing on a Bible. Like I said, that is not fine. That is not okay. You cannot just swear on a Bible that you are going to uphold my laws and uphold this country's beliefs. That was basically ridiculous. Anyway, it was not my standard. My standard was a lie detector test and truth drugs and 1,000 questions for which you had to pass at least 90% of them to leave no doubt of whether or not you were good and honest and being truthful. All you had to do was be honest about everything. Anyway, I created questions and answers and stuff like that for which you had to pass. Anyway, Nixon, JFK, and Jimmy Carter could not pass these tests. Like I said, anyone can swear on a Bible, but that is not good enough for my government, nor my civilizations. Nor is it good enough for me or anyone else in this world. So anyway, that was the law, basically, and basically the way I wanted my countries run. And pretty much JFK, Jimmy Carter, and Richard Nixon were trying to eliminate that. Like I said, these things would have basically ousted them as basically being criminals and very bad people. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now. It's already too late or whatever. So anyway. But Nixon is finally dead. I was wondering when that piece of shit was going to die. His real name was JFK. He's basically the person you knew as JFK, who used to listen to the applause and the happy times of basically when people believed that he was a good person. And I said after his facelift and his voice degradation, basically to change his voice, he basically became the true, real, whatever. He's a very bad person. So was Jimmy Carter, another very bad person. Anyway, they're dead now, or soon to die. Anyway, there are certain people that are trying to keep it in the family. Anyway, you cannot keep my civilization nor my race in the family, as I am the creator of. And also namer. Like I said, all they're doing is propagating lies and basically fake news. Anyway, the donkey was basically JFK. Do the donkey, whatever. Like I said, he thought he was the smartest person in the world, and he was basically a disrespecting little twit. Everyone knew it. No one liked JFK. Anyway, whatever. But in my absence, whatever. Anyway, basically the Irish and the Germans and lots of other people did realize what was going on in the world. So did the Mexicans. So anyway, like I said, it was my fault for moving up the demilitarized zone like 10 miles or whatever. That was my mistake. They were lying to me. So anyway, they were trying to use my orders basically because basically I was the only one who could actually order things in America, since it is my country and everyone knew it. So anyway, but they were far and way into China, so far into China that Russia actually moved forward and was helping the Chinese, I believe, fight back what is basically the U.S. plague or whatever. Pretty much Nixon and JFK and basically some other people. Anyway, they won the war though. Like I say, Russia is a very powerful nation, and so is China. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, ask China, ask Korea, ask Russia about what was happening over there. Anyway, during the Vietnam War, for which the war was fighting for 2 years before the world or America even knew about it. Like I said, this country is not the United States. It is America. It is my country. For one point in time, I was going to call it California. But America is better. So, anyway, like I said, all these things you're just going to have to get over and accept. I don't really care. Anyway, basically, your president has been lying to you forever. Not me, but that piece of shit in the White House. Actually, I don't know. I liked Ronald Reagan. I might have even saved his life. He wasn't a bad person. At least I don't think he was. He was an actor. He was simply just doing things on my behalf, I think. Basically. And I made sure he got a ranch and all that other stuff. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. Technically, I think he willed the ranch over to me. So technically, I guess that's my ranch up there in the mountains. Anyway, I don't know, since it was my money that paid for the ranch. So anyway, lots of people would lie about lots of things. Basically, once I knew and once I could tell you the truth about everything else, it would come crumbling down like a house of cards, most people would say. Because once the truth is out there, well, it's out there. But it was already out there. I really wasn't a secret. Anyway, like I say, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Basically, I was the richest, most powerful child on the planet Earth. I've been the richest, most powerful person in the universe for quite a long time. I don't really care. I don't really go around throwing my weight around. It's like, well, I invent laws and build planets and stars. That's what I did for hundreds of trillions of years. Oh well. I built the Milky Way and also the other galaxy, or at least started it off. And whatever. Lots of things have happened. Nixon or the Kennedys or somebody was going to try and keep me in a coma. Rick Bush wanted to basically keep me, locked up from the age of 9, or put me in prison. But the problem is that they couldn't come up with any rational reason for putting Brian Briley into prison or into an asylum. And technically, because no doctor would actually say that I was crazy or insane. Like I said, you need a medical basis for basically committing someone. So they couldn't commit me, and they couldn't stop me from telling you who I truly am. So anyway, like I said, Rick Bush saw it as easy street, along with Rodney Briley, and probably Mike and his piece of shit brother who were trying to kill Rosella and me, or somebody. Anyway, I don't know. Some people contacted me about the problem of basically Mike's brother. Or Mike, basically. Oh well. Like I say, Mike found out who I was. So did his brother. And his brother apparently wanted to have me killed. Or me and Rosella killed. Or was going to kill Mike and something like that. I don't really know. I don't really care. Anyway, I was contacted and they were stopped or something like that. Is prevented from happening. Anyway, like I say, all my different life form types had time travel. Good luck with that. And the human race gets time travel at some point in time. So anyway, happy trails.